We just took a trade on Euro USD, and let me show you why I have compared this trade to GBP USD. I have compared Euro USD to GBP USD. So let me explain this why. So first of all guys, you could see that here just a second guys. So there is a weekly bearish fair value gap to this sell side liquidity here. So weekly RL to RL on Euro USD, as you can see that a weekly bearish fair value gap in which price has already tapped in. Price has already tapped in, you can see that here. It has tapped the consequent encroachment guys, as you can see that 50% of the bearish fair value gap it has tapped in. So from this bearish fair value gap to this sell side liquidity would be our primary objective. And after that on GBP USD also you could see that a bearish fair value gap, you can see that we have tapped in to this sell side liquidity. There is a bullish fair value gap, but why I am not choosing this is because if we check on the monthly time frame, the GBP is still bearish, as you can see that here. GBP is still bearish on the monthly chart, you can see that here. On the euro I am showing you from this monthly bearish fair value gap to this bullish fair value gap is our primary objective. That's why weekly bias I am aligning with that. And after that on the 2-hour chart, so guys on the 2-hour chart you can see that there is a bearish fair value gap on GBP USD which is being respected here, as you can see that. And the same bearish fair value gap on the 2-hour, you can see that this is the bearish fair value gap which is being disrespected, and price made a buy side liquidity sweep. What is this high? 1.1453, and what is this high? 1.1484. so you can see that it went 31 points up. This bearish fair value gap is disrespected, and price made a buy side liquidity sweep by disrespecting this bearish fair value gap. And here the bearish fair value gap is completely respected on GBP USD, as you can see that here. So 2-hour IRL to ARL here, and here this is SMT where this bearish fair value gap is disrespected and price made a buy side liquidity sweep, whereas the same bearish fair value gap is being respected here. So daily not daily, weekly IRL to ARL on GBP and Euro USD, then 2-hour SMT where this bearish fair value gap on Euro is disrespected and price made a buy side liquidity sweep, whereas the same bearish fair value gap is respected by GBP, and you can see that it is very close to our drawn liquidity on GBP. And after that on the 15-minute chart, if I open, you can see that the market structure shift hasn't, this the line where I have drawn this thing, this is the market structure shift on Euro USD. It hadn't happened, but on the GBP USD you can see that this is the MSS. This, if the price candles close down below this market structure shift, as you can see that the minute it crossed this 15-minute MSS, I immediately entered my trade on Euro. I did not take on GBP because the stop loss would be too high for that. It has already almost reached the draw liquidity up to 70 to 60%. That's why I did not take a trade on GBP, because the loss would be high. But on Euro USD I took it, even though it did not have market structure shift. But as our trade says, if one of the asset had a market structure shift, then you can take on both the assets. That's why I took this trade. So weekly IRL to ARL on both Euro and GBP, and then 2-hour SMT where this bearish fair value gap is disrespected on Euro, whereas the same bearish fair value gap is being respected by GBP. And after that 15-minute market structure shift, not on Euro but on GBP USD 15-minute market structure shift, you can see that here I have drawn this line. This is the MSS. So I immediately entered of this after this MSS happened on the 15-minute chart. So let's see how this trade goes guys. So thank you, this is the trade. Thank you. Wait a second. So you can see that here this is our trade. I just want to show you the profit and loss value. You can see that here $263 SL, $282 drawn liquidity, and $148, $150 we are on profit. So let's see how this trade goes, guys. We will meet after our take profit gets hit. Thank you.